They walked in together like this was a lunch meeting they'd already won. My husband held the door. My father-in-law joked with the bailiff. They laughed when they saw me, not loudly, just enough to make sure I heard it. He leaned toward me and said they'd ruin me, take everything. My husband didn't contradict him. He smiled the way people do when they believe the ending is settled. I sat alone. That had become familiar. The courtroom smelled like old paper and disinfectant. I focused on the wood grain of the bench, the way the light hit the seal behind the judge. I had learned, over months, how to keep my face neutral. Not blank, neutral. Blank invites questions. Neutral invites procedure. This wasn't the first time my husband had chosen his father over me. It was just the first time it happened in public, under fluorescent lights, with a record. When the judge entered, everything quieted. Authority didn't announce itself. It simply arrived and required attention. Papers were shuffled, names were called. Our case sounded small when spoken aloud, a cluster of words that couldn't carry the weight of what had already been lost. My husband's attorney spoke first, confident, casual. He used phrases like clear pattern and documented history. My father-in-law nodded along, tapping his pen, occasionally glancing back at me as if to check whether I was keeping up. I didn't look back. I listened. Listening had become my leverage. They painted me as unstable, irresponsible, easily influenced. My husband avoided my eyes entirely. I noticed the way his knee bounced under the table, something he used to do when he was lying but thought he wasn't. When it was my turn, my attorney stood. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't embellish. She asked for the witness. There was a pause, not dramatic, just procedural, while the clerk checked the list. My father-in-law leaned back, arms crossed, the picture of patience. He had told me once that court was about confidence. They believe the person who looks like they belong there, he said. The door opened. The witness stepped in quietly, almost apologetically, like someone entering a room they wished they weren't needed in. Not a stranger, not a surprise to me. To them, though, the air changed. My father-in-law froze. Not theatrically. His hand stopped mid-tap. His face tightened, as if a calculation had failed. My husband leaned toward him, whispering, "No, this can't be real." The witness was sworn in. Their voice was steady, not eager, not vengeful, just precise. They spoke about documents, about dates, about instructions given and payments routed through accounts my husband didn't think anyone else knew about conversations that were meant to stay private, remembered by someone who had no reason to lie and no benefit in doing so. My father-in-law stared straight ahead. The confidence drained slowly, like a room losing heat. My husband finally looked at me. His eyes searched my face for panic, for triumph, for something he could recognize. I gave him neither. When it was time for clarification, the judge looked at me. "Do you wish to add anything?" I stood. My voice surprised me, not because it shook, but because it didn't. "Yes," I said, "only that I provided these materials months ago. I was advised to wait." That was all. No accusation, no explanation, just timing. The judge nodded. Authority shifted. Not loudly, not cruelly, but unmistakably. The case redirected. Motions denied. Requests postponed pending review. Control moved away from private jokes and confident smiles and into the record. My father-in-law finally turned toward me. He didn't speak. There was nothing left that could be said without consequence. When the session ended, people gathered their things. Conversations resumed in low voices. The world continued. My husband stood as if to approach me, then stopped. He looked smaller, not punished, just exposed. Outside, the air was cold. I breathed it in. I didn't feel victorious. I felt aligned with myself, with the truth I'd been carrying quietly, with the understanding that dignity doesn't need an audience. They had come expecting to take everything. They left knowing they couldn't. That was enough.